welcome back to the Fiesta. I'm trying some stream settings here. I'm trying to stream without my elaborate setup that I usually use. You can see I've got Black Mages. That's my first job of this particular run. My next job is going to be Mystic Knight. After that will be Ninja and then Chemist. I went ahead and unlocked all the jobs earlier today just because it's tougher for me, especially if I'm streaming, to stop playing, get on Twitter, unlock the job, and continue. Also, I'm quite high level despite being right at Tule here because I was waiting for my victory tweets to be registered and processed by RK. I finished early yesterday morning and sent the victory tweet in, and certainly no slight on RK, but I just was too anxious to get started on my next run. And I had some time last night, so I started a new run. Didn't know what job I was going to get, so I just was grinding for a while in the room with Wing Raptor before I unlocked the jobs. So I just turned my emulator speed up to high, but it doesn't mean I pulled out 6 elixirs, which of course is very nice. I'm going to center my game screen. I guess I missed that in my setup. There we go. That looks better. I'm just trying my settings here to see if streaming wirelessly at the settings I use works. Because that would be really nice not to have to set up my whole situation over there with the wired setup. I know wired is generally preferred when streaming, but if I can do it wirelessly and if my computer can run without the ice pack, then I think I'm going to be in better shape. Be a shorter stream today, probably just about an hour, probably till about 4:30 GMT today. But I do have the chat window open, so if you tune in, let me know. I don't have the webcam on today. I don't feel like I'm internet ready. I haven't had my hair and makeup done today, so I don't think I'm internet ready. But all that level grinding last night before I could register for this run should help make this first hour or so of the game go pretty quickly, being level 12 and Black Mages. I would think my my battle with Garula should go pretty well. That's my guess. See if I can remember. Some of these guys might not be weak to thunder. I can't remember now. I guess I'll find out here. Oh yes, these guys are. Okay, so it's the other guys who are not weak to thunder. It's okay. Here I'm really just trying to get some... I wonder if these guys are vulnerable to fire. Let me see if fire will take them out in one. Yeah, I mean fire will. They're not weak to it. That's okay. Always plenty to learn about this game, even on my 10th run. Always plenty to learn. Ship Graveyard should be a breeze. I didn't even buy rods for Black Mages because at level 12 I have plenty of NP to make it through. And even fighting Siren, I mean, fire won't do much to her, but once in her regular form, but once I get the undead form, should just be a few fire spells to take her out, and then I'll get that ice rod in Carwyn, but I think I'm going to skip Carwyn before I go to the mountain. I should be able to just go right up to the mountain and back down without wasting a trip. I shouldn't say back down the mountain. What am I talking about? Back down the mountain. Paralysis attack doesn't scare me from Carlbot, or Carlabos, but of course I had the PlayStation version, so sometimes I drop Carlboss. But even, I preferred playing it on the emulator on my computer in those years ago. Look at that, 2 paralysis attacks in a row. If I was not level 12, that would have been quite concerning. And yeah, I'll be fighting quite a few battles as we go through here, mostly just because I'll be able to beat them so quickly. So that should help me get a lot of AP really, really fast. Which I'll need, because I'd like to get, with this run with chemists later on. It's going to be very interesting. Chemist was, I had a chemist in my very first Fiesta run before I knew very much about this game. Now that I know a lot more about the game, having a chemist should be quite fun. So I'd like to get everybody to learn Mix. I can't wait to see what Omega looks like. I spent so much time in my first run on this one grinding dark matters to try to take on Omega. But Omega should be a cinch at almost any level that I take him on with both Chemist and Mystic Knight. Omega should be an absolute patsy. So I did turn my frame rate down to 20 for this run with my not ice-packed machine. So I'm going to see what a 20 frame per second stream looks like on the VBA. It was recommended to try a smaller size and a higher frame rate, but I'm going to see what 20 looks like at this size. Looks like so far, just at a glance, my computer seems to be chugging on it okay without the ice pack. And I'm keeping half a hand on my air outtake if it starts to burn my hand. We'll see. Let's see. Doing okay on. And I'm just going to be fighting all these battles just for the AP. And I may start making more use of my fast forward button. There we go. Now I've got everyone set to fire. Probably don't need that flail, but I just grab it out of habit. I just grab that flail. Later on, when I start to fight those blue guys, then I'll have to actually start using things like thunder. I think the blue guys are weak to thunder. But I have so many hit points in MP that just blast through this beginning part. So here's why I have to start using... Ah, shoot. Accidentally targeted that other blue guy with fire. Thunder is what you need for the blue guys. Quadruple. However you say that. Quadruple. Battle should have been over, but I was a little bit too quick on the A button. That's okay. Hi, Gamer Captain. Thanks for stopping by on my little quick at a whim stream. Wasn't really planning on streaming today, but I have an hour free, so I thought I would just fire it up and try it out without my big whole stream setup. I spent about a half hour of real-time grinding in Fast Forward last night before I got my jobs assigned, so that's why I have these black pages at such high level for this point in the game. Because I was anxious to start my 10th run, and I had just submitted my 9th run victory tweets, so I just had some time, so I thought I'd get started, and I wanted to see how quickly I could blast through the first hour or so of the game at such high levels. Plus I was grinding in the little area with the mold winds that drop elixirs occasionally, so about a half hour of real-time grinding with the fast forward on got me 6 elixirs in that beginning. So I'm going to be fast forwarding through the cutscenes here, because by my 10th run I've seen enough of these. Although the GBA translation, I have yet to really see, to read all the text of the GBA translation, because for years and years I was always playing on the SNES RPG-E fan translation. So I know that translation localization pretty well. But I only switched to this one for the Fiesta because it has the auto dash, which of course is really handy for Fiesta runs when you don't have a thief in your party. You can get your character to move a little bit more quickly. I also really like the Visual Boy Advance emulator. I downloaded it just expressly for the purpose of doing the Fiesta with this version of the game. And I really like the screen cap button, and that you can map a fast forward button to a button on your controller. I'm still using the old ZSNES, Super NES emulator. I know that's kind of retro, but it seems, the ones that I've tried, and I haven't tried too many for Super NES emulators, the ones that I've tried, ZSNES seems to run best on my really underpowered computer. I've tried like BNES, I know that's a highly rated new one, and I've also tried BizHawk, but both of those seem to be a little bit too processor intensive. I have a really crappy machine that just can't seem to run those ones very smoothly. I'm still kind of in the market for a nicer, an SNES emulator that'll run on my machine. I haven't really been looking too hard for it. Maybe once the Fiesta's over and I start getting into playing and streaming some other JRPGs, 16-bit JRPGs, I'll find a little bit better one, because we don't have nice, handy GBA versions of a lot of these. Are these guys fire? Oh well. I don't really need much help at this point. Siren should be a cinch. Ooh, 2 didn't get him. It's nice to have the fast forward button hooked up in early game things like this, where you can just, I have it mapped to the R2 button on my controller, the fast forward button. So times like that, when everybody's ATB bar is really low and I just need to crank it up to get to the next round of battle without waiting 5 or 6 real seconds, I can just blast through it. And then of course, I can have my Turbo A button. That's just Alt-1. Alt-1 away to get to Turbo A, and then I can hold down the fast forward to get through the talking cutscenes. I don't so much use the Alt-1 Turbo A when I'm streaming, but definitely when I'm just playing casually. A lot of those cutscenes I'll push Alt-1, then you can just walk away, let a cutscene play out. Also, this Fiesta's been quite hard on the A button on my, or the button that I normally map to A on my emulator control, my USB controller. All the mashing that I've been doing on the button I normally use A for has, that A button's getting a little bit loose, so I've remapped it a little bit. I'm using a different... I'm using normally the buttons that I use for X and Y on my controller. That would be where like the triangle and the square buttons are on a PlayStation 1 controller. Those are now my A and B buttons. You picked a good time to step away. The siren cutscene's quite crazy, quite boring, and the siren battle should be pretty straightforward. Ouch! Mute right away! Ouch, that's owie. Let me see what fire does to her. I know it's not going to do too much in her regular form. It might not, yeah, it might not do anything. Even at the levels I'm at, it might not do anything. So I have to wait till she makes herself undead, but... Wow, mute right off the bat. Could have taken almost anything. Anything else would have been fine. It'll still be fine. Protect doesn't bother me so much. Here we go. Let's see what level 12 does with the fire on our friend Siren. 180. She can't do much. Can't quite run one rounder, can I? Nope. Not quite run one round. Run round. Not quite one round. Oh, she's healed. Excellent. Go get her. Okay, Lena has the highest magic score off the bat here. Get through the rest of this cutscene. Alright. So I think I'm going to skip the town. I'm going to skip getting sleep and stuff, because I really don't think I'll need it at the levels that I'm sitting at. And I'm just going to run from the battles on the mountaintop, because maybe I won't even have to, yeah. If I run from the battles going up the mountain, I shouldn't even have to use a tent when I get up to the boss, unless I get more back attacks like that and take a bunch of damage, because I'm going to be planning on grabbing the chicken knife. So I'll start getting that guy charged up. I'll have a ninja, so I'll do the twin lance chicken knife combo on the ninja, and then with chemist I should be able to pump that up to be doing quad 9s, at least on the chicken knife side. Twin lance probably won't do quad 9s, but chicken knife should, after some level buffing, thanks to my chemist. Welcome back, Gamer Captain. Gamer Captain, are you also a Fiesta-er? A Fiesta player? I'm guessing you are, because generally we Fiesta people like to watch each other's streams. Although I should have updated my stream tweet on the 4Job Fiesta website. I didn't realize that with each run that gets reset, because I tweeted stream before my first run. Yeah, I should be okay for this battle. I didn't grab sleep or anything. I skipped going to town. And I skipped getting the frost rod and stuff, because I think with the levels that my guys are at, I should be fine. Just with the base attacks. Well, I tell you, Gamer Captain, there's still a couple weeks left on it. It goes until September 1. So if you're interested, do check it out. All you need is a Twitter account. Just text hashtag REG to get yourself set up. It's really great. but no pressure to do anything you don't want to do. But you can play any version of the game that you want. This one's GBA because it's just most handy for me, but if you've got SNES emulator version, or if you have a newer version, yeah, Magissa is going to be fine here. I got plenty of health, plenty of MP, plenty of power. Normally at this point on a casual run, I would have run to the next town, which I'll be going to after this, and gotten this spell Sleep, because this Forza guy is susceptible to sleep. And he normally, when you're at level like 2 or 3, which we normally would be, if I hadn't done that hour of grinding last night because I was bored, he's pretty tough, but you can put him to sleep and then torch him. But at the levels that I'm at, I just skip that trip to town because I'll be going back to that town next anyway. And even if Lena eats it here, I'll be fine with this. We're just in the hold down the A button mode, although it kind of sucks Lena taking the big punch from him and also getting poisoned. She's kind of gotten bad luck with Lena. Yeah, look at that, there's another punch for Lena, so she goes down. Really just for bad luck, because she got hit on a back attack we had earlier. And then she gets poisoned by Magissa as part of the plot device that happens here. She shoots her with a poison arrow. And then having her take 2 shots from Forza, even at the levels that we are, with how little hit points we have. Oh, and she misses out on the on getting level 2 black. That's fine. So we have a cutscene here before we get our dragon, and then now I'll stop in that town and buy Sleep. And then I have some errands to run on the dragon that aren't part of a straight, like a speedrun players wouldn't do much of these errands on the dragon, but I do them just to pick up the extra items that you get. Some just to sell, some because you need them. I'm trying to think, because I don't think the healing staff's one of the things you get. It's like, I won't be able to use that in this run, because I always forget about Mystic Knights aren't able to equip staves, I don't think. I always forget this. You would think that I'd remember, because I've gotten several Mystic Knights in my various Fiesta runs. But I always forget when I'm starting a new one, if they can equip staves or not. Oh well. One thing that Black Mages and Mystic Knights can equip is rods. So I'll be picking up, there's a Frost Rod here in this town, and normally I pick up that Frost Rod because that boosts your power on that element. So normally also when I fight Magissa there, I put a Frost Rod on one of the Black Mages, and that just, I cast Blizzard instead of Fire, and that boosts up their power. But I didn't really need it on this particular run. But I'll need them later, depending on how far I get in the next half hour or so, because I'll be cutting off the stream in a little while. Oh, there's 1,000. I forget this a lot. There's 1,000 gil down here in this pub through this secret passage, and I almost always forget it. And I don't really need it so much in this run because, again, that grinding made me quite rich for this point in the game, but I'll need it eventually. Yeah, it is just Sleep. Or can I get silence here? I didn't even look. Yes, I can get silence. When I get my Mystic Knight, silence will be useful for me then. And I can get a couple daggers, although I probably won't end up needing those. And 3 cotton robes I will need. I'm going to be finding a silk robe. Yeah, there we go. I'm going to be finding a silk robe when we climb the Warris Tower. Or the Waltz Tower if you go by the old RPGE Super NES translation. So I could go right on to Warris or Waltz right now, but I'm going to do a little bit of errand running, fetch questing. I'm going to use my fast forward button to make my dragon fly a little faster. Let's see. Oh, that's Tule. Nope. Here it is. So I get some treasure down here in the Pirate's Cave. They want you to come back. And everything in here, I'm just going to run from everything here. It helps charge my chicken knife up. That I'll pick up later on the game. The Gamer Captain, are you a, you're not a Fiesta player, but are you familiar with most things in Final Fantasy V? I can talk more about what I'm doing if you are, but I don't want to assume that you do or don't know much about the game. Because there's a lot of kind of Fiesta-specific language that we kick around. Things like the chicken knife is a big thing that most Fiesta players go for the chicken knife and try to have it fully powered up because it's equipable by so many classes. But if you're already familiar with the chicken knife and how that works, I won't bother explaining it or talking about it too much. A few other things that, depending on what jobs you pick up, we run into kind of the same kinds of issues, like things that casual players don't run into, like not having a time mage, like I won't have in this run, means I won't ever have access to the teleport spell to get out of dungeons, and a lot of late game dungeons don't provide you with a warp panel. Okay, alright, so yeah, this Pirate's Cave, there's just it's some minor treasure here, so speedrun players don't do it. That one pirate guy gives you those 8 potions, and then you can get some ether and a tent and stuff. But yeah, so like this run, I won't have a time mage in this run, so I won't have access to that teleport spell. So a lot of dungeons that don't have a convenient warp panel at the end, like a lot of new RPGs, provide you with a way that you can easily get out of the dungeon without having to backtrack your way through it. But this game assumes that you're going to be using a time mage, so it doesn't give you those. So later on, there's a few dungeons that I'll have to walk back through that are kind of irritating. But that's just that's part of the Fiesta. Time mages are generally a really great one if you can get it in the Fiesta, because you can get access to the spell Quick, which lets you cheese a couple of bosses. Particularly Omega is one that you can cheese with Quick. You can get him into HP leak status, and then just keep yourself in Quick, and then his hit points will leak out without him ever actually taking an action. It's a very cheesy way to do it, but if you want the bonus star next to your name in the Fiesta, you can do that. And I've done that every time I had a time mage. I've done the Omega Quick leak. It's really a glitch exploit, but you can use that with time mage. And then also, like, you get Meteo later, so when you get Quick, Meteo in one turn, if you get a couple of guys casting that, you can take out X-Death and Neo X-Death pretty quickly. Let's see, there it is. There's a good bit of treasure here in this castle. And there we go. I'm still, even after 10 runs this year, I'm not perfect on getting it all every single time with every push of the A button, but I can generally clear things out. There's a couple of really well-hidden potions. Or not, they're not potions, I'm sorry, they're cottages up on the front, but I'm going to get the stuff on the 4th floor back up here first. And then the healing staff is kind of a big one. Let's see, where is it? There's Ether, Elixir. Okay, it's perfect. And there's nothing any higher on this wing. That I remember. The rest of that just takes you up to where we were at the beginning. King's bedroom is up and to the left there. Here's where the hidden cottages are. You can't even see that passage with a thief. You have to just know that it's there. And then they're in the chests here. So you get 2 hidden cottages, or they're cabins in the Super NES translation, because that's closer to what they were in the English localization of Final Fantasy I. They were cabins. You could get a tent, a cabin, or a house in Final Fantasy I. So here you get the healing staff that lets you gets you a free casting of Cure 2 or Cura, depending on your translation again, on yourself. You get that from the Chancellor, and then you get a samurai weapon, a shuriken for the ninja, and the diamond bell, which is a geomancer weapon. And I'm going to sell the Ashura, the diamond bell. The shuriken will be handy when I get my ninja job, but that won't be for a little while yet. I might not even get that before I finish streaming today. I've got about 25 more minutes before I have to run today. But I should be able to take on Galura, which is kind of an infamous early game boss in the Fiesta, because you fight Galura just before you get your second job. And Galura uses all physical attacks. Let's see, I'm going to stop in here first. Galura uses all physical attacks, including some counterattacks, and as Galura's hit points go down, I need to get down those stairs and go with this troll NPC to get on my way. Thank you. So as Galura uses these physical attacks, and his hit points go down, he counters you. Sometimes he counters you with 2 attacks in a row, which is really nasty, so you want to make sure that every hit you do on him does a lot of damage. He also is immune to a lot of statuses, especially the statuses that you can inflict right now. Like I can inflict sleep right now, but he's not susceptible to sleep. So he's generally a tricky boss when you don't have much flexibility in your characters. Alright, that's all I need in the town here. There is an item down here in the basement of this castle called the Elf Cape, or the Elf Mantle, that helps because it gives you a 50% chance to dodge any physical attacks. But the whole area down here is kind of, it's full of a bunch of these really tough enemies called like Jackanapes or Jackanapes. I'm not sure how you actually pronounce their name. That always back attack you, and they really smack you for a ton of damage. With the levels I'm at now, I'm going to save state here. I'm going to try to actually fight one with my levels being as high as they are. I want to see if I can actually damage one. If I can't actually hurt one, then I'm going to have to do this quick save manipulation that I do that takes a little while. I don't know if he can be put to sleep. I usually just do the quick save manipulation, but that takes quite a bit of time. So I'm going to see if I can actually damage it with my spells, otherwise it'll be, oops, not fire, huh? And I guess I'll show you the quick save technique, because it looks like I'll be using it after I take my beating here. Yeah, alright. I'm not even going to let him finish me off, because it's gonna take too long. So the quick save thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is kind of irritating, but you can walk a few steps without getting in a battle in this game, and 5 seems to be a safe number. 2, 3, 4, 5 before you get in a battle. And when you quick save on this GBA version, it saves you where you are, and then it reloads you right away, but it doesn't work like a regular save game. 3, 4, 5. In that you can't come back to it all the time, or you can't come back to it after you die. It's meant to just be something like if you need to, because originally this was a portable game on GBA, and I'm using a lot of the fast forward button here to get through this more quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But what the quick save does is it resets your step counter. So I can take 5 steps, quick save, reload, take 5 more steps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, quick save and reload, and then never get in a battle with those guys. And actually gives me access to this Elf Cape much earlier in the game than the designers wanted. And the default is always no on these things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So a lot of times I will hit no instead of yes. And I use a fast forward button to get back to it quickly. Unfortunately, this is kind of a boring part of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boring part of the run to watch this quick save back and forth. If you have a thief, you can get out of the battle a lot easier. You can just use the flee ability that the thieves learn. You can get out a lot easier. 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll go ahead and equip it. And so even though I have the mantle, now I've got to get out of here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the quick save manipulation is only available on the GBA version. It's not on the Super NES version. Did not have a quick save function. I don't know if the iOS version has anything like that. I've never played the iOS version. Never looked at it. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I got to make sure I don't screw this up. So that's why I'm always counting out loud, because if I screw one up, I could game over myself and then have to go back all the way and do this whole thing over again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 5, it just seems to be the right number. I don't know what the actual safe number is. Probably is randomly generated, but... Oop! See, that time it was only 3. So we got to try to get out quickly here. See if I can make the run. That was nice. Ferris avoided that thanks to the elf cape that was equipped, but that time she didn't avoid it. So if I can get these guys out of here before he attacks me 2 more times. Oh, okay, looks like I've got... There we go. 3, 4, 5. So it was only 3 that time. I got kind of trolled on that particular quick save. Generally, I can make it out when I do 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, there's 3 again. Oh, no. Ah. I don't want to use an elixir. When I got out. Okay. Alright, 1 more quick save. We should be done. Wow. That's really bad luck to get 2, 3 steps in one attempt. That's actually quite bad luck. I haven't gotten that in any of my runs so far, but I'm safe now. We're good. We're out of the woods. We're out of the woods now. I got my elf cape. We're set, so I need to trigger this next story event here. Talk to the king, and I'm going to just fast forward through it. If you want to read the script, you might have to just go to a text let's play, picture let's play. Basically, everybody's using these crystals to power their cities and their civilizations. And then things go horribly wrong. A meteor just fell by their tower, where the water crystal is. But I'm not going to the meteor. I'm going to the tower where they keep the crystal, because a animal called Galura, that's normally a nice little tame elephant-looking thing, has gone berserk and is killing people. It's nice to use a fast-forward button to get through the sleeping sequences also. You have to sit there and listen to the resting chime over and over and over again. Let's see how I'm doing for... I should be fine on healing stuff, yeah. Got plenty of healing stuff. Alright. So Galura should be fine. I'm going to use the... I'm only going to attack with the character that has the ice rod, because that makes each attack, count for a little bit more. I need to get these guys back into the back row. I put them in the front row so that when I got back attacked by those jackanapes guys, they were in the back row on a back attack. And that ended up saving my biscuits, because he actually landed a couple of hits that left my characters with a few hit points, which on a normal level, 3 or 4 enemy, or 3 or 4 level characters run, would not be the case. I don't even know what these guys are weak to. Maybe nothing. Nope, it's thunder. Alright, yes. I wanted Lena to get the increase in her Black Mage level, and there's that Silk Robe. You get to learn the route on these early dungeons pretty well. I think it was Ferris who's... Yep, Ferris is missing a Silk Robe. You get to learn the route pretty well in these games. To learn where all the right things to climb are. Let's see. Are these wyverns ice, or are they also thunder? What's that look like? Wow, it takes all four to get them, huh? Yikes. Maybe these guys aren't worth fighting for the trouble they are. Couple of potions, thanks. I think I'll probably just scatter from those guys next time. So that central pillar goes nowhere. This one goes to a silver armlet over here, which I don't know if the mages can equip. Can they equip that one? Yes, they can. A little bit better for them. And then the other side goes to, I think it's an ether or an elixir, and then that continues on. Let's see, oh, it's an ether. I couldn't remember which one it was. I'm not going to bother with that anymore. All right, I'm going to go ahead and just potion each of my characters. And who has my ice rod? I'm going to put it in her hands because she's magic 59. All right, so Lena is going to be my only attacker in this Garula battle. Everyone else is just going to be defending and healing. Garula has, I think, 600 something hit points. So when you have no healing magic in this battle, it can get kind of long. But hopefully she can do enough damage at the level that she's at to not have this last too long. Here we go. Normally this is pretty tricky, but I think my levels are gonna help me really overpower this guy. And with how many hit points I have, I can actually take a few of his regular hits. He'll start using Tusk soon as part of his counterattack, which puts you in slip status, so your hit points will kind of drain away. And there, Lena took a punch from him, not defending because she's on the offensive for me. Because that Frost Rod is boosting her Blizzard power. But everyone else is defending, so they'll only take 20-something when they get hit by him. So I just have to hope he targets most of his stuff at the other characters. So oh, it's Rust. That's right. It's in this version. It's Rush, not Tusk. So I keep getting my Super NES and GBA translations confused. But that means that he's getting down in his hit point total. Once he starts doing the double counter. Yep, there we go. And Ferris avoided the second attack with the Elf Mantle. Whenever you see them do that, they flash that little red thing. That's the Elf Cape dodging. So they have a 50% chance to dodge. Actually, I should have put it on Lena, but I think it hardly matters now. I've got plenty of firepower, plenty of hit points, plenty of magic points to take this guy down. That might be it. Nope. Hopefully it's just one more. Everyone else can just defend. Alright, Lena, let's see it. Nope, alright. He has more hit points than I thought. I haven't actually looked at his info for a while. Some of the Fiesta people maintain a great little text file that's kind of a manual to that's for Fiesta players. That kind of gives the AI routines for every boss in the game. Ooh, double hits from that. That's not good. Double hit without her defending. Even at the levels we're looking at, that's not awesome. See if one more can take him out. No. He must have a lot more hit points than I thought. Let's have everybody defend. To stay out of that, stay out of trouble from getting smacked. There it is. So normally, that's a pretty tricky boss depending on your setup. Thieves are really tough with Galura. Also, my last run, I only had white mages when I fought that boss. So that one really takes a long time because you have to just plunk them down with just the, you have a flail at that point, and the other ones all have staves, but you don't want to use the staves because he'll do the counterattack. Even if you knock him for like 4 or 5 damage with a staff, he'll still do that double counter on you that does, you know, 50 plus. So you want to only be attacking with the one character that has the highest attack, just kind of like I did there with Lena. She could do the most damage per hit, so I could maximize how much damage I did to him for every time he did the double counter on me. Now the tower sinks, and I have access to Mystic Knight. And not only do I have access to Mystic Knight, I have to have someone as a Mystic Knight. At least one player now has to be a Mystic Knight for the rest of the game. Except in cases where I only have 3 party members. There's a couple times later in the game where, for story reasons, you have less than a full party. So the rules allow you to have to leave a job out, but you still can't double up on a job in cases like that. So I can't suddenly go back to 3 black mages later in the game when I'm missing characters. I still have to have all of them but one. I'm using fast forward again because here's another time when Sildra sacrifices herself for us. She did so earlier after the Carl boss fight. We thought she was dead then, and now she goes back, and let's hear her yell. That sounds a lot better on the Super NES version. That's another thing that I like better about the SNES version, is it had a much better sound card than the GBA did. There it is. So sound effects like that sounded a lot more convincing, even in 1991 on the Super Famicom, Super SNES, than they do on this cheesy thing. Actually, you know what? I don't need to go back there. Oh, I do need to go back there because I need... You know what? I don't, because I get a mithril sword here. I'm all over the place. 13... Oh, and I do have one broadsword still. I get some better equipment up here over by Karnak. I get some better stuff. So I'm going to forego getting a long sword because I can buy mithril swords up here in this town. In Karnak. Although I'm gonna be cutting off the stream before I take on the next dungeon. I have to head out here. This was planning on being a short stream anyway, so we're getting close to an hour, so I won't have time to get through the next dungeon, but I'll get to the next town and do the next set of cutscenes. So I'll have the cutscenes on stream. Yay for that, right? Cutscenes are great on stream, aren't they? These are some of the best enemies to fight for gaining experience and money earlier in the game, especially money. They cough up great money. 625 Jill, I think, per battle, and these woods are just full of them. I think they're the only enemy you can fight in these woods. And they cough up it's 87 experience and 625 Jill, which is a great total for this point in the game. And actually, I am going to fight these guys because I have the chemist later, and I'll need these turtle shells from these guys. So whenever I see any turtle-type enemies, I'll be fighting them because they drop. They have, I think turtle-type enemies have 100% chance of dropping turtle shells. So there, I get 2 of them. Because the chemist will use a good number of them. There's places later that you can farm turtle shells that are a little bit more efficient, but look at that, almost got them all. But it's nice to get a start when you can, when you have a chance. So the next dungeon will be the fire ship. Let's get one more dog battle in. Here we go, before I go into the next cutscene. Again, almost got them all. Look at that. There's the other 2 levels that I needed. Alright, and a little trick about Karnak here. You get arrested as soon as you... I just learned this during the Fiesta. You get arrested as soon as you try to do any kind of business in the town, buy something, or stay at the inn, or whatever. But you can actually... When you choose to buy whatever it is that you're buying, you actually get it... in your inventory. You actually receive it, even though it looks like it doesn't, because it says, someone says like, hey you, stop. I'm going to buy this mithril sword. And it says, you there, freeze, but I actually get that mithril sword for the discounted price. That was just because later on when you come back, you have access to buy all that stuff, but it costs a lot more. The rods cost 750, which is why in the Fiesta, if you have an all mages run, you can register for an all mages run. It's called Team 750 because you break rods to cast the level 3 spell of that type. So you can break a frost rod to cast ice 3 on all the enemies, or fire rod or thunder rod. And I'll actually be using that. I'll probably be using that quite a bit here in the fire ship. Even at my high levels, when I go to fight the boss here, or the castle escape that's at the end. Although that'll be later, probably I won't be able to do that on stream, sadly. But Gamer Captain, if you are interested in the Fiesta, I would recommend checking it out. It's quite fun. It's a great way to learn this game, and this game is it's a very deep game, despite being a 25-year-old Japanese 16-bit RPG. There's really a lot going on to it, and there's a very passionate community around the Fiesta that I have just gotten to know this year. And you've got a couple weeks left to pick it up. So I'm going to finish this cutscene, and I'm going to go out and save, and then I'm going to cut the stream for now. If you want to know more about it, you can... I mean, I've got on my Twitch page archives of streams that I've done of this game, including a all-day marathon I did of this game. I did a 14-hour straight run-through on... that was my 5th run. But there's a lot of other, even more knowledgeable players about it than me, who have runs of this on Twitch and on YouTube. So if you want tips for any part of the game, you can find myself or one of the many more knowledgeable streamers to learn from. And I'll be watching to see if you pop up streaming your Fiesta run. And it's all for a great cause, but you don't have to donate to play. You can play for free, but if you want to donate, you certainly can, or you can encourage other people to donate to Child's Play. All right. Well, that's it for me for now for today. But I'll try and stream a little bit more. Maybe later this week I'll try some other streams. Maybe I'll turn the webcam on. So thank you for tuning in, and hope to see you on the Fiesta side.